all you lovely kings, queens, and in-betweens, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Elaine, and today we're talking about my Baldur's Gate 3 Oil Baron run, where the only diplomatic solution is fire. The rules are simple. If a problem exists, set it ablaze. If it's already on fire, add more fire. If there's no problem, create one, then set it ablaze. This means I must hoard bottles of grease, oil, and anything else that could be classified as flammable by the medieval OSHA inspector who's definitely been vaporized by now. Naturally, I need a team of like-minded pyromaniacs. First requirement, my character must be able to ignite anything on command, because when friends fail you, there's always fire. So, I went with a Mephistopheles tiefling, red draconic bloodline sorcerer, fire resistance, bonus fire damage, burning hands, and a personality that screams arson is just spicy problem solving. The adventure begins on the brain ship, where I meet Lae'zel. She's strong, sure, but tragically fire illiterate. She just kills things with weapons, like some kind of barbarian in a Saturday morning cartoon. I vow to teach her the ways of the flame, the fiery side, the brightest side, the best side. Or, remove her from the equation. Either works. I ignore Shadowheart, camp furniture, and blast my way through the ship while Lae'zel hits things until we crash onto a beach near Emerald Grove. Time to assemble my dream team of firebugs. First up, Asterion, the roguish pretty boy who I plan to stuff with enough explosives to make a red dragon nervous. Next is my boy Gale, the evocation wizard. Finally, someone who gets it, a man after my own scorched, crispy heart. He wields fire magic like it's an art form, and he's got grease, which, let's be honest, is just foreplay for fire. This man isn't just a party member, he's a soulmate forged in flame. I must marry him immediately, if only so I can legally claim half his spellbook in the divorce. Then there's Karlach, who casually lobs grease at our enemies like she's auditioning for the role of most chaotic short-order cook in medieval history. And did I mention she's literally on fire? Permanently. Just walking around like a giant flaming middle finger to the laws of thermodynamics. I beg her to share her secrets. But her backstory is basically hell's worst internship, so yeah, maybe no lessons. Instead, we honor her the only way we know how, by burning everything evil in sight on her behalf. And Shadowheart? Yeah, she can keep the campfires warm. With the team set, we fight a few local beasties, hit level 2, we now suck slightly less, and I grab Twin Spell for future buffing shenanigans. Plus Careful Spell, so I can protect my allies while still setting the battlefield on fire. The Oil Baron run is officially underway, and Faerun won't know what hit it, but it will definitely smell like barbecue. So apparently, we're all rocking tadpoles in our noggins now, like little brain goldfish, except instead of feeding them flakes, they feed on our free will. Thanks, Evil Brain Cruise Line. 5 stars, would not recommend. Naturally, we go see Nettie, the local healer, because word is she's got a cure, and she does. If by cure, you mean poison that kills you faster than Lae'zel judging your posture. So we did the only rational thing, set her on fire, then had Karlach scoop up her charboiled corpse like she was door dashing it to a secret graveyard. After that, we wandered the grove, killing monsters, pocketing loot, and dinging level 3. I unlocked Scorching Ray, aka the arcane equivalent of carrying around 3 flamethrowers duct taped together. Then we stumble across this dusty old temple, and I'm like, at last, my people! Fire appreciators! Pyromaniac soulmates! But no, they immediately tried to roast me alive, which is rude. So we returned the favor by outfiring them. Pyro supremacy, baby! Mid-battle, Karlach briefly forgot the holy doctrine of fire good, everything else bad, and used, non-flame violence. Heresy. Don't worry, she'll attend our mandatory re-education camp. Slogan, only you can prevent forest fires, by starting them first. Anyway, we kept adventuring, flambeing every baddie and bystander who dared disrespect the sacred flame, until we collected Lae'zel to join Shadowheart in their most important party role, making sure our campfire stays warm and judgmental. Truly, we are less of a party and more of a traveling fire cult, and honestly, that feels right. Now that we've got not 1, but 2 designated campfire managers, our party is basically a traveling Airbnb with unlimited s'mores potential. Feeling cozy, we decided to keep wandering the grove to deal with that whole Goblin Menace situation and help out my tiefling brethren. A few flambéed enemies later, we swagger up to the goblin camp, hit level 4, and snag some shiny new abilities. At this point, I finally let the crew take their first nap of the overnight rarity, because who knew fireballs weren't a sustainable energy source? That's when Will pops in like the world's most dramatic door-to-door salesman announcing he wants to kill Karlach. Excuse me? What? Absolutely not. She's family. She's fire fam. Naturally, we teach him the error of his his ways. Read, threaten him with fire. He gets the message and boom, another recruit for the campfire club. Back at the goblin camp, we decide to sneak around, which in our case means loudly announcing our presence with fireballs, arrows, and a grease trail so obvious, it may as well have neon signs pointing to it. The goblins start pounding on their little bring friends drums, only to immediately faceplant into our burning oil slick. It's less tactical genius and more slapstick inferno, but hey, it works. Asterion is sniping from the sidelines, Gale and I are turning the battlefield into a fireworks show, and Karlach, well, she runs out of flammable substances to throw, so she switches to tossing the flaming corpses of the fallen. A lot of corpses, like, should we be concerned level of corpses? And then a vase. Don't ask me why. So yeah, sorry not sorry, Minthara. Your floors are scorched, your antiques are ash, your goblin gang is toast, and you're, well, extra crispy. With Minthara sent to the great barbecue pit in the sky, we strut through the goblin camp for approximately 2 seconds before bumping into Priestess Gut and her discount minion squad. Surprise! They've set a trap. How inconsiderate. Naturally, we respond the only way adventurers know how, lighting everything on fire and laying down grease like we're running a medieval Waffle House. Problem is, only half of them slip and sizzle in our carefully curated death zone. Also rude. So plan B, burn harder. Karlach, remembering her very effective Minthara strategy, scoops up Gut's smoldering corpse and starts using her as a goblin-flavored fastball special. Nothing says teamwork like hurling your enemy's remains at their friends until there are no friends left. By the time the fight's over, the goblin camp looks like the aftermath of a very illegal circus act, and we're just strolling away like it's another Tuesday. After a brisk little stroll through the goblin camp, like shorter than Karlach's temper, we decided to take a quick nap before tackling the last goblin commander. What was his name again? Warchonk? Gut Bucket? Grease Finger? Dumpster Fire? Honestly, it's all a blur of green faces and bad dental hygiene at this point. Either way, he went down faster than Asterion in an all-you-can-drink blood bar. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. With him toast, we jogged off to save the greatest treasure of Faerun, Volo, walking embodiment of the word meme. Obviously, we had to rescue him, if only for the memes. Then we swing by the warg pens to save Halsin. Big, beefy druid man, loves trees, loves animals, loves flowers, basically a walking Pinterest board. But there's a problem. He doesn't like fire at all, which is awkward because fire is kind of our entire personality at this point. He keeps talking about balance and harmony, and I'm like, yeah, harmony with a bonfire, my guy. So we let him out, patted him on his leafy head, and politely exiled him to camp. There, he can meditate on how badly he's let me down. Forever. After that, we wandered back to the Goblin Rager we'd left on pause earlier thinking, hey, maybe we can sneak in one drink before we inevitably murder everyone. But no. Apparently the goblins had gotten the group text that we're party crashers because the second we showed up, they skipped right past hello and straight into stab them. Honestly, rude. We just wanted to vibe for a hot minute before turning the place into a barbecue pit, but alas, Destiny said, no kegs, only carnage. So we torched the little evil block party, strutted away like it was Taco Tuesday business as usual. Then we casually marched through the mountain pass, patting ourselves on the back like we just fixed everything. Gosh darn it, we're all going home.
Hi, Tisha Valenza, aka Poison Ivy, and you've just been watching King's Entertainment Reviews. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch.